Hey lovelies and happy new year. Welcome to the first BYOP of 2025, which technically would have been the last BYOP of 2024. But we did decide to scooch it a little bit into the new year so that everyone could enjoy the holiday season with friends and family, and there's not the pressure to create. I know myself, I really appreciated that. I really just needed a little chill time. So thank you for allowing us to scooch this into the new year. But I'm very excited to share with you this little eyeshadow palette that is reflecting back on my year of 2024. So we're gonna go through all the shades that are in here, what they represent to me, the vibe of the year. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about what I'm hoping the vibe will be for next year. This year, wow, yeah, I guess it's 2025, y'all. So we're about to get into this, but if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist, and here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Now, if you're new to this BYOP series, my friend Kara from Beauty and the Frizz and I started this several years ago to get more use out of these single eyeshadows that we have. I really love how a lot of you have enjoyed joining in on this, content creators, just fellow makeup enthusiasts, because it really is a way to get a little creative and really to have a fresh look at the makeup that you already have. So I'm really excited to dive into this with you. Like I said, this is all about looking back at the year. We have done this for the last, we've done this every year that we have done this series. I guess I'll just say it that easiest way. I'm pretty sure we've at least done it for the last two. Clearly, I am not remembering very well. This is also a good time to say, if my energy seems off today, it's because I am sick. I'm feeling a little bit better now, but y'all, I got knocked on my butt right after Christmas, which seems to always happen. As someone in the beauty industry, the holiday time is just kind of insanity, and it's go, 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 and the minute I get to like let the adrenaline out of my system, I usually tank for a little bit. So I today just put on a lot of blush and a lot of concealer, and we're just rolling through this, but definitely not feeling at my best. I could not even drag myself out of bed until like noon today. I just kept falling back asleep. But I cannot miss out. I have not missed out on a single BYOP yet. I've had some that have gone up early because I don't know how to schedule videos properly. I've had some that have gone up late, but I've never missed one yet, and I didn't want to do it today. So the show must go on. So we're gonna do this. I'm excited to get into this. Let's take a look at the eyeshadow palette. All right, so here are my shades. Oh, I am going to definitely need to turn down this light here so that you can see. There we are. So I really had no intentions of what this palette was going to look like color-wise. I didn't go into it. There was only like one shade really that I was sort of like, okay, well, I definitely need one of these, and that'll be the first shade that we go through. But I didn't know where this was going to go. So a lot of this was me looking up like what colors represent certain things just to kind of like get a vibe. And evidently this was my vibe. So these are all pretty much colors that I would absolutely wear and do wear. So I'm really excited to dive in. So again, here I am in a sweatshirt, total cozies. Am I wearing pajama pants right now? Yes, I am. Absolutely. And I don't want to change. So I'm just going to swatch these on the back of my hand today as opposed to like all the way down my arm. I think it'll be okay. It's just eyeshadow, y'all. So we're gonna start from the top, but I'm probably gonna end up doing about half of these on one hand and half on the other. Now, again, if you are new to this, really the only rule that we have ever set up for ourselves is that you use 10 eyeshadows. And other than that, it's a free-for-all. And by the way, if you're curious about next month's theme, we will be sharing that at the end of this video. So stay tuned if you would like to join in or you're just looking forward to what's up next. All right, so I guess this also sort of goes chronologically, but this is probably one of the biggest changes that Jeremy and I have had this year. And if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen him a lot. But I had to put in a shade representing Jet, who is our pit bull pup. So Jet came into our lives, well, into living with us, I guess I should say, in late March. And it was quite unexpected. Not exactly from the best of circumstances, but has become such a blessing for us. I have never really talked about the why of why he has come in, but without really going too far into things, we have a loved one that is incarcerated and that we had said that we would take Jet into our home for. So I will be honest, at the time that that was agreed upon, I don't know that we really knew what the circumstances were really going to be like, if it was even going to happen, all of that. It was sort of like a, if this comes to fruition, this is what we will do. And so Jet is now a big part of our lives. And while originally in my life, being a dog mom was never something that I had wanted to do, when I met Jeremy, he had the sweetest American Bulldog Bug, and she just was so near and dear to my heart. We lost her a couple years ago, and that just left such a hole. And I was like, I definitely want another dog at some point. And Jeremy, absolutely too. Not right now, and certainly not last minute, but that's life for you, right? So we have Jet now, and he is the sweetest little devil. He's the sweetest little devil. So he is a black, almost like tuxedo patterned pit bull. I did not want to put a black shadow in here. So what I have done is chosen out, let me get my little magnet. I chose out a shadow that kind of represents the color within his eyes. He has the most beautiful, like whiskey, dark, flecked eyes. In fact, his name before he went to our loved one, his name was Whiskey, and then he was renamed Jet. And so this is sort of a color to represent his beautiful eyeballs. And I think that if I shear this shade out, it would be a pretty close color. I also, honestly, you know, I always talk about like when I do these BYOPs, I really want it to be something that I could see purchasing, wearing, enjoying, and so I did need something with a little bit of depth. So I think to get the true color of this, it would have to be done pretty lightly, especially since this is a Danddylions shade, and that is a very pigmented matte brand. Well, they have colors other than mattes, but their mattes are all very, very pigmented. This is the shade Toasty, by the way. So I just love this warm, beautiful brown, and I love Jet too. He is, like I said, he has really changed our lives. But we have definitely been enjoying him. Okay, there we go. I feel like that's a little bit more true, and also makes me look slightly less ghostly. So, like I said, he has just been such a joy and has really brought so much love into our life. A lot of laughs, a little bit of swearing, but for the most part, he's been great. And I will always continue to share his goofy moments. So if you want to see more of Jet, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram and keep beauty real. All right, so this next set of shades, Jeremy and I were able to go on a cruise this April, and it was a lovely, long, extended cruise, and I just love, I mean, who doesn't love a vacation, right? But I always love vacations that have, I'm a water baby, and I think probably in last year's BYOP, I used a color representing the beautiful, like, Caribbean Ocean, like, beautiful waters. I really wanted to go more with the feel of, like, sun and sand and just that gorgeous, feeling of the energy that you get when you are able to be in beautiful weather, when you can enjoy the warmth, the sun, and everything just warming your soul, you know? So this color is from Devinah. This is Sweetie Sunbeam. And this color to me is, it's a little bit sandy, it's a little bit sunny, and of course it has, you know, Sunbeam in it. But to me, it's almost more of the vibes of what this represents. And honestly, this is a color that I have worn a lot in 2024 because it is just such a beautiful, spicy neutral. You have this really rich, warm base with tons of like gold fleck to it. You can see there the base of that. Absolutely just a stunner. So that's one that I wanted to include in here. This next color, I originally had picked it out, you know, kind of thinking of like that sandy color. I am a little bit sad because I don't think that 2025 is going to have a big vacation in it. Who knows? We'll see what life brings, but there is just something about getting away for an extended period of time and just getting to enjoy and travel and experience new things. And this cruise that we went on, almost all of the stops were places we'd never been, places we absolutely want to go back to. You know, we love snorkeling. It was just very freeing. I will say, like, getting to enjoy seeing new things is always just so great. So absolutely loved that about the beginning of the year. So this next shade is from Lisa Eldridge. This is actually from the Cinnabar palette, so you can't get this one anymore, but they might have it available in singles still. So this is the shade Raw Sienna. And this really, for me, it's obviously a very natural shade. And while I would never consider myself really a nature girl, I do enjoy, and even though it's not something that I always strive to do, once I am out in nature and enjoying, whether it's going on a gentle hike, let's say, I'm never gonna be the person who like is doing these like badass hikes, but like being out, challenging myself a little bit, getting again to experience the sun, just being out with the sounds of nature. Honestly, for me, it is like the quiet of nature. Like I have just found as I've gotten older, my anxiety has ramped up and I just need some like, and being around loud sounds, like repetitive noises, all of these things like just start to get to me. So being out in like calm has really helped me. So whether we are going kayaking, you know that Jeremy and I love to do that, just being out in nature with calm has really made me very happy. And I feel like this represents this well. It also is such a simple shade, and that has been something that I have really been not only enjoying more of this year, but trying to cultivate more in my life this year. I think I started doing better probably about halfway through the year with that, but it's certainly something that I want to focus on going into 2025 is just like simplicity. And that's everything from, I don't know, everything like in my life, in my space, you know, creating a calm atmosphere for myself in my life, in my brain, all of that. And so I feel like this shade really represents that. So we're talking kind of like goals and sort of what I was working on last year. I do think I'm going to do a little like 2025 goals. So I don't want to go into that too much, but definitely like this year was the year of like analyzing and trying to figure out what I need to work on. And I feel like I'm sort of in that mode, but I know that for me, it's like calm, simplicity, space, all of those things. And so this is what that represents. We're going to be here for a while. This is always a chatty one, y'all. I can't even apologize for that. Okay, so this next shade, some of these are just colors that make me super happy, but I did think that this is very fitting for a lot of reasons. This is the shade Flip Flops from Sydney Grace. This is one that I got in the mystery bags this year. This beautiful, like leaning into chartreuse green is just one of those shades that always makes me happy. It reminds me a little bit of Makeup Geek Jester, if any of you remember that one from back in the day. And first of all, the name Flip Flops, I mean, that just always makes me happy. If the weather is going to be able to allow me to wear a sandal, open-toed, flip-flops, whatever it might be, you know, it makes me think of vacation. It makes me think of happy times. Also, I have to say that there is a shirt that Jet has, and he just looks so darn cute, and it's very similar to this color. Look at that. Look at that shade. And I honestly don't think, I might have used it in the video when I unboxed this, unbagged, whatever you want to say, the Sydney Grace shades, and I think it's been in an isolated palette from when I did that video. I have not worn this one yet. Who am I? How have I not worn that? I think that I'm going to use this shade a lot. I mean, this to me is, you could use it in the fall to get like earthy vibes. You could use it right now in the winter. I mean, I could have used it around the holidays. Going into the spring and the summer, I just feel like this is such a versatile shade. So I wanted to put this in here, but this is very close to the shirt that Jet has, and he's so handsome in his shirt. However, the one day, I know that I can't like leave him in his, he loves wearing his clothes, but I can't leave him in them overnight because once he starts like grooming himself, sometimes he just gets so excited and he'll start like nibbling on it. And then all of a sudden he had like a half a sleeve hanging off, and I'm like, you look like you're the Hulk. Like you look like you burst out of your clothes and now you've got this like clothing shrapnel. It's ridiculous. We're just going to rip off the other sleeve and it's going to be like his little like work tee. So I think we're going to get the logo of Jeremy's business put on the back of it. It's going to be adorable. Let's face it. But I was like, you destroyed that shirt. So anyway, there you go. I can't say that all of this is going to totally make sense to all of you. Some of this is just going to be random rambles. Welcome to my life. This next shade is one of my final purchases of 2025, and this shade is just absolutely beautiful. So like I was saying, I've been working a lot on like my own space, just figuring out my own life, like what I'm trying to do here. Aren't we all always trying to figure that out? But for me, I really wanted to step back into the role of learning. I know that I enjoy learning, and I was looking to get some growth. I just have felt very stagnant in the last year, and I was like, you just need to do some new things. So there are a couple new things that I started doing this year. First of all, I started painting watercolor, and I think it was right at the very, very end of December of last year. I had purchased a really like beginner course, and I honestly think I just fell into this on Instagram of like anti-anxiety watercolor painting. Like I said, that's definitely been something that's been ramping up in my life. And I just found the flow of the pigments, like just playing with pretty colors, very soothing. And that's obviously something that I enjoy doing as a hair and makeup artist, but I wanted something that was not work, that I could enjoy being creative in. I felt very creatively stifled, and like my tank was empty. Like I had no creative fuel anymore. And so I needed something to just make me feel happy. So starting on this watercolor journey has been great. And so we are running into about a year that I've been doing it, and I've noticed some great growth. I definitely have just been getting more and more into it. I have been doing some tutorials. I have just been kind of playing on my own and really loving it. What I'll do after these next couple shades, because they sort of like fall hand in hand, I will maybe show you some of my watercolor journey, which also I have shared a little bit on IG. So I was looking up like learning and education and what represents that. And they said that warm colors like red or orange represent learning. And so I wanted to pull out something that was like a beautiful like red. This does have like some red into like amber, but it is one of the newer shades that I picked up. And this is Blood Moon. Again, this is from Devinah. So this is just a lovely multi-chrome. And I know that there are probably shades out there that are similar to this one. However, I don't have one. So I was very excited to see the shade, and these make me so happy. I mean, Devinah just makes such beautifully smooth. Like I would say, if you're familiar with the Aurora Flares, I don't know if Devinah is saying that that's the collection that this would be in, but I would liken it to that formula, just that really so smooth. We all use the word buttery, but to me, that gives it that, it makes you feel like it's perhaps going to be one of those very emulsified, slightly oily feeling shadows, and that is not what this is. It is more of a satiny, smooth, get this guy turned down here. So I think you can kind of see there, like it is just the most beautiful shade. I'm so happy I got this one. Just absolutely such a stunner. Let's see if we can get a little finger swatch in the light. There you go. That's almost like better. Sometimes, you know, you just gotta get the right angle, and sometimes my finger seems to work better than my wrist. So very excited to play with this one. I have not worn this yet. I absolutely plan on doing a beautiful deep smoky eye with this on the lid. I think it's just gonna be so fun. So really excited for that. So wanted to put that one in here. While we're talking about it, by the way, something that's changing for 2025 is that now my code with Devinah, while it still gives you 15% off, so everything's the same, the brand has decided to do an affiliate ship again. So now when you use my code KeepBeautyReal on the site to purchase your beautiful pretties, I will now gain a small commission off of that. So thank you to the brand for that. And also thank you to all of you who have purchased from my recommendations in the past. So now that I am affiliated again, what is going to change? Absolutely nothing. I will still spend my own money on Devinah. Like I said, these shades, including the next one, I have purchased myself. Have I received PR? Yes. Have I spent money? Yes. Will I be sharing Devinah still? Yes, because I still have, even when I did not have an affiliate code. You know that my love for the brand is undeniable, so nothing's going to change there. I'll still give you all my honest thoughts, but now I will be able to get a bit of a kickback if there is something that you see that you feel like you need to have in your collection as well. Like this one. I don't know how this one was not in my collection yet, but it wasn't, and I did decide to pick it up during the Black Friday sale along with Blood Moon and some others. I did do a video, a Black Friday haul. If you do want to see all of the shades that I got, by the way, I will have that linked down below for you. So this shade, it's green. It's a green, you know I love my greens. So this again is the green of nature. This is Patina, by the way. You have the green of nature, and this really makes me think about some of the paintings that I've done. I have been doing a lot of different styles of watercolor, but I really love like botanicals and landscapes, and I just love a good green, and I was like, how do I not have Patina yet? So this is just such a pretty shade, and you know that I love a good Devinah matte moment, so I had to pick this one up right away. When I swatched it, I was like, oh, this is just so good. This is kind of a fun one because you can pack it on more to deepen it up, like you can see there where it kind of like went over my middle knuckle. You can get it deeper, but you can also sheer it out more to almost have like a dusty olive, right? Yeah, that's what I would say. It almost has, it's a cooler toned green, and it almost has like a little bit of grayness to it. Devinah is the best place to get yourself some grungified matte colors. Absolutely love them. So speaking of greens, I am just gonna show you a couple paintings that I think I might have shown some of these on Instagram, but I have absolutely been loving. If any of you are interested in doing watercolor, I absolutely recommend looking into Let's Make Art. So in the last few months, Sarah Cray and her husband Michael have purchased the Let's Make Art brand, and they have started growing this beautiful internet community, and they do tutorials. Sarah is a lovely artist, and her husband does a lot of the tech and the filming of it, and I have just fallen in love with working with them. They do some really fun tutorials, but also just what I've learned from it. So there's also a ton of great free content on their YouTube channel, so I will have that link down below for you if you want to check that out, and their website, in case, because I know that some of you are actually painters yourself. So anyway, this is one of the first pictures that I did that I was like, okay, I want to hang this. So you can see it's greens. I love it. And so this was from the October box, I believe. And then I recently did this one, and I love this. So I'm gonna frame these. I think I'm gonna try to pop a couple up somewhere. Absolutely super fun. Those are both from tutorials. And then I just did, again, sometimes I just want to like sit down, play with color. I just did this of my own whatever, but this little like autumnal wreath. So I think it's funny because a lot of the colors that I'm showing you here are colors that are like ending up in this palette. Just wait till the end. This is like the vibes of this, and totally unexpected. But so there's just a little bit of what I've been working on. Some little hummingbirds here. So it's just been making me so happy, and yeah, I just really enjoy it. It's a way for me to kind of clear my mind, and I have just been loving learning a new skill. So the other skill that I have been diving into more for my profession, I have always done one form of extensions, but this year I really wanted to like learn more opportunities and different ways to be able to offer those to my clients. And let me tell you, I just think it is so satisfying and so rewarding to be able to give people the hair of their dreams. And I've really been enjoying that. So in September, I took a 2-day certification, and I was just like, as someone who is an educator for a brand and has really found a lot in the past that was rewarding through that, it was so amazing to take my educator hat off, my leader hat off, and just be able to absorb. And I was like, I need to do this more. I need to fill my own cup more. And so it was great. It was great to be able to learn something new, to just feel like absorbing information. I love it. I can tend to go down a bit of a rabbit hole, which is what I did with watercolor. I started out very simple. Like, we're just gonna play with color, and now I'm like, I wanna do the most detailed, challenging things I can possibly do, which takes a little bit of the anti-stress factor out of it, but the learning factor is there. And so I found myself doing the same with extensions. I can see myself getting into like all of the things. So it's okay. It's just my Virgo tendencies. What can I say? So again, learning, that's been a big part of my year. Okay, so another part of my year that I have really, I don't know how I would have done this year without my friendships and all of my friendships in general, but there has been something about this year that my female friendships have just been crucial to survival. And you all know who you are. Like, there's something about not just what has happened in life this year, but just like at the age that I am, you know, I'm 43, and the things that start just being part of your life in that, whether it's your own self, like freaking perimenopausal crap, hormonal changes, just like the way that your body, you're like, okay, my body and my brain are not what they were. What in the world? Or if it's just a lot of the things that start just being part of life at that age. it's been so good to have people just to be able to like bounce ideas off of, just be like, am I the only one out here? Like, and just, I have friends that I have a lot of things in common with. I have friends that I know that we have varying beliefs, that we are different in so many ways. And it's just been so beautiful to try to nurture those a little bit this year. And I'm trying to be able to do that more, to be there for people in the way that they've been there for me. So friendship has been so crucial to me this year. So thank you for that. Okay, we're not crying today, Kelly. So when I was looking up the colors that represent friendship, it was yellow. And I was like going through some of my Glaminatrix singles and I was like, this color is so pretty. It is reflective. It is fun. You know, I love a good yellow. And so I swatched it out and I was like, yeah, this is going to be the one. I like the texture of it. This color just has a bit of like extra shimmer to it, and not texture as in flaky or anything like that, but I don't know, it's just kind of fun. And I was like, yeah, this is going to be the one. And then I looked at the color name and it's Chick. So here I am talking about female friendships, and then this color is Chick. So thanks to all my chicks out there. Also all my non-chicks, like love all my friends. But like I said, there's just been something that I leaned on my friends a lot this year. Okay, so another yellow that I wanted to pull up, again, to represent friendship, but also just because this is one that really makes me happy and I think it goes really well in this palette. This is another Devinah matte, and this is Toska. I love this one. There is just something to it has a bit of like an earthy vibe. It's sunny without being Crayola yellow. It's sort of if a dusty lemon yellow and goldenrod were mixed together. I feel like I've gone up and down with the lighting today so much, but I really love that. So for me, that was just such a beautiful pick. So now moving on, I wanted to pull out a shade that, again, we're going back into the feeling of space in this world, in relaxation, in, again, that simplicity. And I wanted something that was just light and ethereal and easy to use, because especially the last few months of the year, I have been just wanting like easy makeup. And so this is a classic, y'all. If you still have this one in your collection, this is Shimma from Makeup Geek. And again, this is just a beautiful shimmer eyeshadow. It's great on the inner corner. You can whisk it all over the lid. You can even blur this out and make it into a highlight shade. For me, especially like this time of year, I know I'll be getting light enough that I'll be able to do that. So I will put it here. Next to these yellowy shades, it does look a bit pink, but I would say it's definitely more of that like champagne, obviously with my olive undertone. Like, it was like, are you olive? I'm like, yeah, look here. Like, I look like yellowy green next to that shade. So this is just, it's so pretty. And I did really blur it out right there. It is not a heavily foiled shade. And sometimes that's why I like this, because it's just going to be so flattering on the eye. It's not going to enhance texture. It's just so pretty. And this is the feeling that I want to still carry into 2025. That light, weightless feeling of space. And I'm trying to create that, like I said, in my home. I'm trying to like pare down just everywhere, like pare down my closets. By the way, I did just get my closet cleaned out so I could get all my painting stuff in there. I am trying to pare down my makeup collection a little bit, which more decluttering to come. Just all of the things, you know, paring down in my life, paring down the thoughts in my brain. Like, let's just create space everywhere. So y'all, this is going to be the year for space. And I do feel like I definitely, towards the last half of this year, have really tried to honor that. I need to do better, but I have tried to honor that. All right, so this next shade is one that I don't think I have ever used. And I was looking for a color to represent one of the fun paints that I have found within watercolor. And it's pretty cool. Let me tell y'all, you can do a deep dive into paint, because there are granulating paints, which means like they split, the pigments sort of split into different colors. So then you can see like multiple colors in one wash. There are multi-chromes, there are shimmers, there are iridescents. It can be a lot, but there's a shade I don't think I have a swatch of one anywhere. I will see if I can find one on the internet and I can put it up here, but from Daniel Smith, which is one of my favorite paint brands at this point, they make a shade called Rose of Ultramarine, and it splits into ultramarine and this beautiful like kind of pinky purple. And I was like, surely I'm going to have something that could represent that, like a multi-chrome. I didn't find anything that like gave the vibe exactly, but when I was going through my Makeup Geek shades, this was completely untouched. It is touched now because I swatched it out. This is the shade Solo. And I was like, what is this? Like, it doesn't quite represent the shade that I was looking for. If anything, this actually represents more of Potter's Pink, but I digress. So there's just something to this that is like so darn pretty. And what I have found this year that I have really been enjoying is finding those gems in my collection, in my life, whether we're talking about makeup or whether we're just talking about anything in life, and finding the delight in really appreciating what you have and taking that second look. And I think that that is something at the end of the year that is so great to do. You know, it is very easy for our brains to focus on what has been going wrong, the things that have been stressing us out. And sometimes it's just good to be able to look back and be like, wow, but all of these blessings that I have, or all of the lovely things that I have, it's easy to look at other people's highlight reels and be like, oh, everyone has so much more, or whether that's things or joy or confidence. And sometimes we just need to like take a look at our own space. And so when I found this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a pretty shade. I have never used it. I have never been able to enjoy it. Not that I haven't been able to, I have never chosen to, I guess. There we go. So you can see it's just this beautiful, shimmery, rosy color. It does, when I look up close, it has micro little like silvery flecks to it. Hopefully you're able to see that there. It's just beautiful. And I'm going to enjoy using this one. And I think that, again, this has been a year of me trying to reintroduce myself to what I have in my life that is a positive. And on that note, I just want to say thank you to my friend Stephen Ford. Stephen sent me this Instagram reel of a creator talking about this exercise that they decided to do. I don't know if they found it from someone else. I will try to find the reel and I'll post it below if you're curious about it. But this creator was talking about taking a moment to go through your own photos from the year. Start in January of 2024 and just kind of go through, because typically we are usually taking photos of the good things in our life, right? Happy moments, happy things, just like celebratory things in our life. It's sort of our highlight reel. Now, granted, you will also have the weird screenshot that you took or some random thing, you know, whatever. But for the most part, it's a lot of happiness. And it's a great way to look back and be like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this. I totally forgot about that. And it's a great way to just be able to have a moment of gratitude for what you do have and just remind yourself of the fun things, the great things, the happy moments, the things that you should be proud of, all of those things in your life. So I definitely recommend you doing that. I enjoyed doing that. I also just found some fun stuff. I also realized that I really need to clean up my camera roll. I'm not gonna lie. But thank you to Stephen for sending that to me. All right, so here we have our shades. I think that this is a fun little set. And, you know, even here, like I feel like unintentionally, I did almost like a little like lighter, more like Spring Woodland Fairy, and this one leans a little bit more into like Deep and Toasty. So I think that really you could like almost do this as two different palettes, but that's not what we're gonna do. So this video has been very chatty. So to decrease the amount of time that you all will have to spend watching this, I am just gonna do a quick, simple eye look. I feel like this video is really just more about the chattiness of everything. Could I have chatted about all of this while applying eyeshadow? Yes. Am I that great at that? No. So we're just going to put on some relaxing music, some light and space invoking music perhaps, and I hope you enjoy, and I'll be back at the end to sort of summarize, and I will share with you next month's video.
I ain't afraid of the dark, 'cause once you let the light in, you won't see the beautiful stars shining down from afar. No, I ain't afraid of the dark. I don't mind the rain, bringing life back. We can breathe again when dealing with the pain. No, I don't mind the rain. And ooh, that's the way it goes. Life will teach you what you need to know. And ooh, like a river flows, life will take you where you need to go.
All right, here we have our end look. I'm very happy with this. Like I said, I cannot believe I have not worn that flip-flop shade. It is absolutely beautiful. There's nothing overly complicated about this look, and that is what I'm here for, a non-overly complicated year. I think that's what we strive for every year, right? So I do need a little something on my lips, but I am just going to toss on. I have some things that from my lipstick declutter, I was like, I gotta get out a few of these things and see what I think. So I'm gonna just throw on this Sephora tinted lip balm because the dry lips are real, y'all. Like, I don't know if it's the dry weather. I've been trying to drink more water, and I've definitely found that I have been drinking more water, but I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. And also I feel like when you're a little bit under the weather, you just tend to be more dry. You just tend to be more dry. So you'll have to let me know what you think of this makeup look. I would love to know, like, if you have a few shades that you think, or colors even, that you think would represent your 2025, or if you just want to give me a few of the moments that you'd like to share from your year, I would love to know that down below. And of course, I will have Kara's video linked down below and anyone else that I know that is hopping in on this BYOP. So for next month, and this is one that we've done for the last few years too, we are gonna do a Pantone color of the year. So I'm really excited for this one, y'all. I feel like when Pantone released, the color is going to be Mocha Mousse. I had so many of you tag me on Instagram, and it was a split. I would say that half of you were like, ooh, look at this. And some of you were like, ugh, look at this. And I will be sharing my thoughts in next month and creating a palette based around that shade. So stick around for that. If you would like to share your Mocha Mousse Pantone Color of the Year 2025 palette, there are lots of ways you could do it. If you're a creator, feel free to do a video. Please tag Kara and I so that we can share it. I cannot wait to see other creators and what they will do with this color. If you are just a makeup lover and you want to share with us, you can always tag us on Instagram, whether it is a look you've created, whether it's the palette itself, whether it's a couple swatches, whatever you would like to do, we would love to see it. It's really just about having fun with the makeup that we have. And of course, on Instagram, I am Keep Beauty Real and Kara is Beauty in the Frizz. So again, just tag us so that we can share along in all of this eyeshadow love. 2024, y'all, it's gone. This was a fun way to just take a reflective look back at the year, and really also a great way to look at goal setting and just like envisioning what I want 2025 to look like. So like I said, I feel like that was a little bit of both in here. But like I said, depending on timing and what is going on in my life, I do plan on doing a little like chit chat 2025 goal setting video with all of you. So, all right, that is going to be it. I know this video has been long. I appreciate all of you. I will have all of the shades linked down below if there's anything in here that's still available that you feel like you would absolutely love. But again, these BYOPs are really all about just using the makeup you have, celebrating the shades that you already have. And sometimes if there's a shade that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I don't have that in my life, picking up those gems here and there. All right, lovelies, I appreciate you so much. Happy New Year, and I will see you really soon.